In this video, I'm going to show you my Android Studio game project. So, let's get started. So this is my Android Studio game project, Bumper Harvest, the main menu of the project. And as you can see the titles here and the photos of it. And there's 4 buttons: start game, how to play the game, create and quit game. And as you can probably guess that already, quit game means you quit the apps and go back to the the menu of your phone, and if you click it again it will start the game once again. And right here you can see the credit of this game, and this is the image I use and background music I use, and most importantly, I do not own the copyright of the above image and music I used. Moreover, you can see how to play this game by clicking the how to play button, which will show a dialogue message teach you how to play the game. First thing first, if you touch the screen, it will move the hook upward. Secondly, get as many fish as possible within the game. Last but not least, avoid hooking the boot. So, let's start the game. So as the how to play suggested, you can touch the screen by touch the screen and the hook will move upward. And try to avoid touching the boot as much as possible, because it will break the hook, which I already did once and twice now. And if all 3 of my hook is destroyed right here, then the game's over, and it will show the score I get in this game. And moreover, if the score I got is above the high score of the previous player, it will show as a new record, and it will ask me, do you want to play again? And if I press yes, it will reset the whole game. I have 3 hooks once again, and my score is back to 0. And try to get as much fish as possible, because it will increase the score you get. And one thing that's really remarkable of this game is, as your score going higher and higher, the movement speed of the other object will also increase. As you can see, the fish and the boot is moving slightly faster than the beginning of the game. So the difficulty of the game will increase as you're making progress. And now I broke 2 hooks once again, and if I touch the boot again, the game's over, and I once again got a new record. And it will ask me, do you want to play again? If I press no this time, it will go back to the game main menu. So let's play the game one last time just to show you what happened if the score I got is below the highest score of the previous player. And now I broke all 3 of my hook with score of 0, and as you can see, there's no new record message right here, because the high score is 7 and I got 0, and it's asked me, do you want to play again? If I press no, it goes back to the main menu. So this is the application of the Bumper Harvest. So as you can see right here, this is the program or code of Bumper Harvest. And it starts with initializing and on create, and protect void on create, and set up a on click listener for the 4 buttons I use on the main menu, and a on click function for each and every one of them. And if the start button is pressed, it will call the other activity, and if the quit button is pressed, it close the apps. And if the how to play button click, it shows the how to log button as I showed previously. And last but not least, the credit button, which shows the credit. And here's how I make the dialogue right here, title message, which you saw back there as I previously showed. And if the player press OK, it close the dialogue only, and last but not least, create and show the dialogue. And right here the created dialog same as the above title message. And if the player press OK, it close the dialog, and last but not least create and show the created dialog. Next, we have the game activity.java, and it start as usual initializing the stuff. And I set a requirement for orientation just to lock the orientation of the phone, just in case the player turn the phone around and around in the middle of the game. And it will call the other call the other function called game view, which is the main function of the game, and a set content view as usual, and a timer for the game. And moreover, this is the game view of the game, which is the main component of this game, and it starts as usual initializing the game object, movement speed, and bitmap, and so on. And right here is the game view, which is the beginning of the game, and I start by giving them each and every one of them a image for each game object, and a music for touching the fish and the boot, and last but not least the background music. And I also set up a score pane for the score show on the top left corner right here, right there, back there previously, and the position for each and every one of the game object. And last but not least, the background music set it to loop, so when the background music is finished, it will start once again automatically. And the volume of the each and every one of these musics and sound effect. And right here is the draw function of this game, and there is something remarkable, is the movement speed of the game object is depends on the size of your devices. Just in case you use a mobile devices which is larger or smaller than the one I used to test the game. And right here, if the life is 0, it show the game over dialog message right here, and including the score right here. And right here I changed the size of the game object, just in case the size of your phone is different than the one I have, so if the image of the game object won't be too large or too small for you. And right here I draw the score test right here using canvas.draw text, and here's the position, and the hook X position is locked at the middle of the screen right here. And once again, the position change depends on your screen's size. And here I set up the maximum and minimum Y position of the hook, just in case it go outside of the frame of the screen. And right here it will update the hook's Y position, and these codes right here will prevent the hook from moving outside the frame of the screen. And right here this will create a gravity for the hook, which makes it slowly moving downward as the game progressing. And right here right here is the movement speed of the boot and the fish. And one thing remarkable is if the higher your score is, the faster they move. And right here, just in case the fish move outside the screen, it will randomly spawn the fish on the left hand side or right hand side, and once again it will move back to the middle of the screen, moving left and right, and as you guessed it. And just in case if the fish are looking at different direction, and as it starts, there's a boolean for it, and just to change the image of the fish. And right here it will randomly set the Y position of the fish every time it responds. And same goes to the boot right here, and it will set the and it will randomly choose whether it should spawn on the left hand side or right hand side. And right here, just in case it spawn it look at a different direction than the one it start with. And last but not least, the Y position once again is random. And draw bitmap for the boot right here. And one thing right here is I don't want the fish swimming backwards, so I set up so the fish look left booleans right here will tell me which direction the fish is looking at, and I will change the image of the fish in case depends on where it should look at. So you can see there's two draw bitmaps right here for the fish. And right here I check the collision. I write a method that will check the collision between an object and the hook, and this one right here will check the collision of the boot between the boot and the player. And if they make contact, the boot will there's a sound effect about the boot being touched and life count. That means the hook you have will decrease by 1, and it will reset the boot position. And right here same as above, except this is collision for the fish, and this time instead of decreasing the hook you have, it will increase the score you got because you get the fish. And sound effects for the fish will play as you probably guess it and reset the position of the fish. And right here is for drawing the hook. And just in case, and because it's kind of boring if the hooks look the same all the time, so I also set up 2 draw bitmap for the hook as just like the one I did to the fish image. And right here this is how I draw the amount of hook the player still have on the top right corner back there, as I previously showed. And once again, the position of them will change depends on the screen size, just in case. And right here, this is how I check the collision between an object and a hook. Is by using the object's X and Y position, and then check it with the hook's XY position and the size of the hook, and it returns true if they collide, and false if they don't. And right here is the on touch event. If you touch the screen, it will move the hook upward, and as a result, you can catch the fish by doing so. And right here is the game over message. It will pause the background music, and it shows the titles game over with the score you got. And right here it shows the highest score, and if your score is higher than the highest score of the previous player, it will show new record, and instead of showing the highest score, it will show your score instead. So, and it will ask you, do you want to play again? If you press yes, it will cancel the dialogue and restart the game. And right here, just in case you don't want to play a game, don't play the game again, it will go back to the main menu and stop the game. So this is the coding for the Android Studio game project Bumper Harvest. Thanks for watching.